Well, drug dealers are selling fentanyl in the form of powders and pills, but now they're adding a dangerous animal tranquilizer to it, and it's known by its street name, tranq. When ingested by humans, the effects could be deadly. The DEA releasing shocking statistics about xylazine and how it's making its way through the United States. And data shows it is in North Carolina. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker joining us in the studio with a closer look at the drug and what we are seeing across the state.
This map shows where xylazine has been found, stretching from the eastern part of the state all the way to Charlotte. Counties in our area warning the public about xylazine. But to understand why it is here, we need to show you where it started. And we want to warn you, some of the images you will be seeing might be disturbing. We take you back to the early 2000s. In the heart of San Juan, Puerto Rico, the streets are lively. But it's what we can't see that's now killing people.
But it was really only on the island of Puerto Rico for over a decade.
It's called xylazine, or the street name tranq, a powerful sedative and pain reliever, an epidemic sweeping the island. And now it's here in North Carolina.
You know, you didn't hear about xylazine being cut into drugs other places.
Dealers are cutting street drugs like fentanyl and heroin with xylazine, a way to stretch supply, making it more affordable to buy and sell. The result, a strong high for the user.
In humans, it seems to slow blood pressure down. It can really kind of make people very drowsy or straight up unconscious.
And in the worst cases, open wounds so deep you can see bone.
It starts with just sort of a black patch under the skin and sort of like almost like a blister with a lot of fluid in it. And then from there, that blister with fluid kind of breaks, and then a thick scab known as eschar forms over that wound.
The DEA issuing a warning about humans ingesting tranq because that's a far cry from its intended use.
Its technical term is an alpha-2 agonist. We briefly discussed.
Dr. Samantha Stanley, a veterinarian in Charlotte, is very familiar with xylazine.
We use it a lot in horses.
So dangerous, it's only given to animals under careful observation.
Ideally, we would be monitoring blood pressure, heart rate, respiratory rate, because that's what these drugs do, is they decrease those things, and if they get too low, that potentially can be deadly.
But now, humans are ingesting it, and many don't even know it.
I guess I wasn't surprised.
This drug now added to a list of veterinary drugs like fentanyl in canine cases that are misused by people.
A large majority of them are starting to get controlled and starting to be abused.
From Puerto Rico, xylazine moved to the mainland.
And then started showing up first in Philly.
You're not screaming like before, that's a plus sign.
In the largest open-air drug market in the Northeast, fentanyl and heroin plague the area, but now xylazine is in the mix. According to data by Substance Abuse Philly, in 2021, over 90% of drug samples taken in Philadelphia contained tranq.
There's a lot of Puerto Rican and Dominicans in the drug trade in Philadelphia.
And those cases are now bleeding into where we live. At UNC Chapel Hill, you'll find the Street Drug Analysis Lab, a team of experts testing samples off the street.
There is some powdery residue left behind.
They can identify what is really in there. It's one of the few labs testing for tranq.
A lot of people aren't aware that this is being cut into the fentanyl that they're using.
Colin Miller says the lab works with agencies across the state to collect samples.
They can tell their participants to bring in, residue in the corner of a baggie or, small, like a used cotton from an injection.
So they know what is showing up in North Carolina. According to the lab, over the past year, out of 551 samples taken, 130 came back positive for tranq, almost 25%.
North Carolina is more than likely headed for where we see Philadelphia.
This map showing where the drug has been found, highlighting counties like Mecklenburg, Across state lines into South Carolina, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office issued a warning about xylazine with this frightening footnote. Because it's not an opioid, its deadly effects cannot be reversed by using Narcan, the standard antidote for those kinds of overdoses.
It might restore their breathing, but they might still be unconscious.
We reached out to CMPD's Vice Unit, asking for an interview multiple times, wanting to know if it's targeting this drug. They declined. While at first it was a problem beneath the surface, xylazine is in the Carolinas, as loud as the streets where it originated. So there is no question, xylazine is here. Coming up tomorrow at 11, we take you inside an addiction recovery center. Those who work there tell us it's like a storm that came out of nowhere. Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.